Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for checking it out. I am Bethany, and this is a general love and relationship reading. This is like so I just finished all the zodiac signs, and I'll start again with them and do new readings, and I'll just keep cycling through. And whenever you watch them, whenever you see them is when you're meant to see them, and hopefully the messages resonate for you then. The timing of it doesn't really matter. Like, I've watched readings before of people, and they've been like from months or weeks before, and they're resonating in the present moment. So it doesn't matter when you find the video, or if I recorded it last month or today or 2 weeks ago, it doesn't matter. It's like if you resonate with it, then the messages are meant for you in this moment. Okay, so 2 cards that came out. The reason I was doing this reading, because 2 cards that came out when I was shuffling mindlessly. First is Love, Venus. Okay, so then the second was Cancer, and it's I feel. We are in Cancer season, and Cancer season goes until about July 22nd. This is like July 3rd is when I'm recording this. But I never realized how emotional, like, I'd say this year I have really been tapping into or noticing how my moods and my emotions are affected by what's happening astrologically. And so, like, well, for one, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Okay, so it's pretty sure it's the moon card equivalent. And then it's not in the tarot, but in general it is. And then Venus is the Empress card in the tarot. And so mother energy is also coming up. So, like, I kind of got off what I was saying. I never realized how I was affected during each season. And so, like, right now during Cancer season, I am really emotional, like crying a lot, just really in my feels. And you'll see it says I feel. Like, Cancer is a water sign, so they feel very deeply. And in reading the cards, because I don't think I've pulled the Cancer card before, so I was reading it, and it was talking a lot about how they feel things very deeply, how it's also connected to the mother energy, which the Empress is also the mother energy, which is Venus, love, what that card represents. And so a lot of stuff may be coming up in terms of what you're feeling, and just like all of the emotions being at the surface right now. But it is also, I've felt for a while something is going to happen during Cancer season, and we still have about 20 days left of Cancer season, I think. So, like, I feel like love is going to come in. And even in the Venus card, it was like, if this card comes out, like, if you pull this card, it has to do with love. And then the Cancer card is like trusting how you feel right now, leading with your emotions. Yes, so I wanted to do a reading because of that, and we're going to see what comes out. So it could also mean, if we're looking at signs in terms of astrological signs, Cancer, maybe you're a Cancer, you have Cancer in your chart somewhere significant, like in your Venus, or it's your sun, moon, rising, or it could be somebody that you're going to be in relationship with or are in relationship with is a Cancer, sun, moon, rising, or Venus, or anywhere else in their chart that it's significant. And the first card that came out is the Hermit. So it could also be Virgo. The Hermit is Virgo. Doesn't have to be those signs, but just, sometimes it helps to say that just in case people are like, I'm not sure if it's for me, and you're not sure if you're going to resonate with it, but maybe me saying that stuff might help. So, but the Hermit is going within. It's about seeking solitude, deliberately seeking solitude so that you can find your own answers. And I love the Hermit. Like, if you're familiar with human design, I don't remember if it's my 6 or my 2. I have a 6-2 profile in my human design chart, and one of those represents the Hermit energy. And so I love being a hermit. I love being alone. I am alone a lot. Like, I like my alone time, and I like to reflect. But it's and I think because if we're feeling things very deeply, perhaps you are too, you generally want to be alone during that time to kind of see what's coming up for you, because it can be overwhelming to be around people when you're feeling something very deeply. And I think even in the Cancer card, I believe, I don't know if I have, I have like maybe one person I know of is a Cancer in my life who I'm closer with, but I don't think I've ever had close relationships with any Cancer people who are Cancer signs. So like I never realized, what they're like, what the energy of that sign is like. And it was talking about in the card when I was reading it, they tend to, I think it used the word recluse, like being alone a lot. They won't share necessarily what they're experiencing, especially like it was just talking about them being alone and kind of hiding. Because they're the crab, right? The Cancer is the crab. So what happens is, like, if a crab gets scared, it goes into its shell. That's kind of like this hermit energy. So love may be coming in, or you can feel it coming in. I get that. I feel that if you're watching this, you possibly have felt like, I think love's going to come in if you're not in a relationship already. And it could be scary, or you're feeling it and it's a little bit overwhelming. So you're kind of going inward, seeking solitude, going into your shell and feeling it out. Like, it's almost like you're preparing yourself for it though, because if you're not used to it, like for me being an air sign, I am not used to it. I also have an air sign moon. My moon is in Libra. It's another air sign. So if you don't know about astrology or the signs or the whatnot very well, air signs are very logical, analytical. They're in their heads a lot. They're very communicative and objective. They're not necessarily a water sign, which represents our emotions. So that means that water signs feel things very deeply. Me being an Aquarius, I can hold space for people's emotions. I don't necessarily like being in my own emotions. It's very uncomfortable. And then again, your moon sign represents how you deal with your emotions, how you process your emotions. So being a Libra moon, I'm seeing my emotions objectively, and then wanting to balance them immediately, right? It's like, because Libra is about balance. They represent the scales. Anyways, I don't know why I'm getting off on a tangent. Perhaps this is helpful for someone who's watching this. I hope so. To explain like what those kind of things kind of mean. Anyway, so I don't actually have a lot of water in my chart. So it is really, I feel like a fish out of water when I am feeling things very deeply, when I'm emotional, when I'm vulnerable. I mean, being vulnerable is also something that doesn't come easily to me as well, just because of what I've been through in my life. And I'm healing parts of that. So I know that has a lot to do with that. But long story long, I don't remember what I was saying. Virgo is also, because we're talking about the hermit, Virgo is an earth sign, and earth signs are very grounded and stable. But actually I'm sometimes surprised that Virgo isn't an air sign, because they're very analytical. They're very organized. They can be a little bit anal, a little bit too, because like you can be analytical, which is a good thing, but you can take it to the extreme to where you're just like so analytical that you don't take into account anything else, like how you feel and whatnot. So I'm not saying that is what's happening, but I think there's this balance that needs to happen in terms of making sure you are being objective, like with your emotions, and not, because the next card that came out is the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is about truth and clarity. It's a sword. So swords are air, which is our thoughts, our mind. It could be about communication. But I kind of get, because we're talking about being alone and processing, and we have the Ace of Swords, which is it's one sword. So to me, that's always like having to do with self. It also can represent new beginnings. It can represent an offer of communication with somebody, or you communicating with yourself. It could represent that. Okay, so always take it as it resonates for you. It could represent this is what's happening within you, and also it could be that this is what's going to happen with somebody else because you're doing it first with yourself, if that makes sense. It's like you're attracting it from someone else because you're doing it with yourself. So understanding, like communicating with yourself, getting really clear on what you're feeling and why it's showing up and what you need to release. And allowing, also, I feel like this is representing seeing things from a different perspective, allowing yourself to see the bigger picture and to see what's really happening for you. Then we have the Six of Cups. So here's our emotions, and I feel like this has to do with stuff from the past. So it is about nostalgia, childhood memories. It's usually about happy childhood memories. There's this like childlike wonder. It could also represent you wanting to be more childlike, or go back to a time during childhood, like, and how you felt in that way. It can also represent healing from past, whether that's like past life stuff, or it's just healing from your childhood, or just stuff that's happened in your past. It can also represent somebody coming back from your past, maybe someone you knew in when you were a child, or just when you were younger. So it could represent all those things. And then it's also, we have the mother energy showing up. So I feel like childhood and mother and family is very apparent. So it's perhaps some stuff's coming up for you that you're releasing or you're feeling, and you're like looking at why is this coming up, and it's basically telling you, you're getting clarity on this is from your past. Like you're kind of repeating you're releasing an old wound, or these are feelings that are coming up from your past that you're maybe possibly healing, that has to do with your mother or your family in general, or that mother energy if you are a mother yourself. So I know that that's coming up for me. Oftentimes when I'm healing something for myself, I see how it's related to me being a mother, and how I'm learning lessons about how to be with my son based on what I'm feeling. Because it's like, he often reflects to me things where he experiences big feelings, is upset about certain things, and the way that I respond to him is very important, and it tells me more about where I'm at. And if I fuck up and I do something that's not the best, I then later experience something similar that I said, like, oh, Kingston was experiencing that. So that's why I'm experiencing now. I'm clearing it. I'm healing it. I'm realizing, okay, I'm being humbled. I'm being shown, like, you need to do it differently. Like, you know, that like you reap what you sow. So like, you often experience the same like type of healing. So say like it's just like keeping things in check, like keep like checks and balances basically. So like, say I did something that wasn't the best thing to do as a mother with my son, I'm then going to experience it later and get shown this is how he was feeling, and how you're reacting to yourself right now is very important. It's going to show if you have healed from that, and if you're going to keep doing it in the future. I hope that makes sense. But it's very difficult for me to be a conscious parent sometimes, because for one, my own wounding and gets in the way of being conscious. And then when I'm not, I am shown very clearly what I did and how to do it differently, and what it felt like for Kingston when he was experiencing that, and all of those things. And it's not just with children. This has happened to me with family, with friends, with romantic partners. Me feeling what they felt, what they went through. Maybe not everyone experiences this, but I know for me as a healer and just doing what I do, that's one of my purposes, is to feel what other people are feeling, so that I have more compassion. And it also helps me clear it, because I think I'm also meant to do that. We're not meant to clear and heal every single person in our life, and things that, you know, we're not meant to do that. I get that now. But that is the work that I'm meant to do with certain people and certain lessons and certain healing dynamics. So we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is about working hard at something. It's about mastering your craft, developing skills. The Queen of Wands could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but it is passionate, fiery, magnetic, very creative. She's in touch with her life force energy. So our sexual energy and our creative energy, one and the same. Also one and the same. It's our life force energy. And the Two of Cups. And then we have the Two of Cups, which is about love. You sharing your cup with another person and them sharing their cup with you. It's balanced. It's reciprocal. It is going on dates and being happy and joyful. What I get is moving through the emotions that are coming up for you in terms of from past, which I feel like is what we're doing, frees up your energy to then work towards embodying your life force energy, or, you know, being able to manifest and create what it is you want brand new in a relationship. So I feel like this is at the tail end of some healing that's happening, which is why love is probably coming in during Cancer season. Sorry, my leg itches. But it's, and so because of that, I don't remember what I was saying, but because you're healing, on the tail end of this healing, or getting some clear reflection or clarity around your healing, your past, and then choosing to work at doing it differently. And what I get is you're not coming from your past experiences anymore, or your childhood conditioning, or your childhood trauma, your past relationships. You know, none of that is at play anymore because you're releasing it. Therefore, it frees you up to embody your own life force energy. And in that space, you're like, well, because you've developed these skills. Also, I feel like the Eight of Pentacles is like, you've been developing these skills, you have these skills, and you are standing in your power now after moving through this deep healing process in order to allow the space, to create the space for this love to come in. I'm telling you, you're in a very receptive place. Like, I feel like this is why love is coming in during Cancer season, because it almost forced you to be in such a receptive feminine space so that you can allow it to come in. So it doesn't matter if you are male or female or what you identify with. It's just the energy. So if you're more feminine energy, it's like you're dropping more into your feminine energy because you're in your feels, or in your emotions. The Two of Swords. We have 2 2s back to back. 22 is a master number, and it does represent actually divine feminine energy. But the Two of Swords is about being a stalemate, needing to make a decision. Whoa. A Tower. The Tower is never a comfortable card. Doesn't have to be super negative. It's all in your perspective about it, but it's about destroying foundations. So that could be simply, it could be like moving or ending a job. Like I said, it doesn't, and it could be losing a job, but I don't feel like, well, yeah, because like it's something that you need to make a decision about, destroying a foundation. But because we're talking about childhood, I feel like it's a connection there somehow, because it could also be about ways of being, belief systems. Shoot, hold on. Sorry, hold on. Okay. The Knight of Swords. So we go from the Two of Swords, which is needing to make a decision, not making a decision, being in a stalemate, like knowing you need to make one but not making one. The Tower happening, which is probably, the Tower is usually a sudden thing happening that feels like it's happening to us. You know, like I said, a relationship ends unexpectedly. It's like an unexpected thing. It's like a lightning bolt happening right where you weren't expecting it, and it destroys something. And it's quick, and it's kind of swift, and it happens, and you're like, oh my God, that was kind of scary. I didn't know, like, wasn't expecting it. And then what's funny is it's almost like, let me see how I put this into words. I feel like it's a metaphorical thing. It's not a physical thing that's ending. It's because we have 2 swords here too. So it's something that has to do with your mindset around love. And it's like, you see how she's also like guarding and protecting herself with those swords? That's what not making decisions usually is a protection. It's, you know, if I don't make a decision, then I don't have anything to lose. I don't have to take responsibility for something. So something comes in, destroys this foundation, whatever it is, whether it's a sudden realization, which I feel like that might be, or someone saying something to you, because I feel like there's a lot of communication here because we have the Knight of Swords. So it could be somebody saying something to you. So it could be this person coming in, this love relationship that's coming in for you, someone saying something. And the Knight of Swords can be impulsive communication. It can be aggressive communication. It doesn't have to mean aggressive in like an angry way, but it's just like a very assertive, authoritative, like, this is how I feel. This is what I want. I don't feel like it's angry, but there's a lot of passion behind it. Even though it's swords, it still feels like there's passion behind it, which is why that's the only type of communication that's going to break down this guard that you have, or break down this tower that's there. Is this type of communication where someone is like so assertive, like their energy is so all-encompassing, I feel. It's interesting. Okay. Nope, not those. The Ten of Cups, dang. And the King of Swords, okay? See, so maybe this is why swords are here, because maybe it's a King of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra energy. Or it could just mean them coming in that energy in terms of being communicative, leading with their communication, because they know that that's what's going to get your attention. I feel like that's really important. But it's about Ten of Cups. They're coming to say, like, basically, I want to be with you. I want to have a family with you. I want happily ever after. Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment. And you'll see that it's this couple here from the two. It started with the Two of Cups, but now the Ten of Cups is the culmination of it. The starting of it is here, and then it's this with the family, and now they're all together. And so it could be someone that you've already had a relationship with, or it could be just someone brand new. Like we were talking about past life stuff. It could also be someone who you have a past life with, that you're meeting for the first time in this life. But yeah, ooh. Okay, I don't want all those. I'm not feeling that. But they're basically communicating to you that they want that with you. They want that happily ever after. Knight of Pentacles. So 2 knights. So again, it's about action. This one's more slow and steady action. I want to take things slow. This came up in one of the other readings I did recently. I don't remember which one it was, if it was for one of the zodiac signs or if it was a general one, but it was about, I think it was for Taurus. Somebody coming in and being like ready to offer this to you, and the other person is like, or one of the people, like, take it how it resonates for you. The person who's being offered this, right? I want to be with you. I want to have this happily ever after with you. Is like, I want to take it slow. We need to take it slow because I'm not fully ready because of stuff that I've been through in the past. And the other person, the advice was for the other person was to make sure that they are understanding of it and that it's not a rejection. It is simply I need to ease into it type thing. The Fool, because we do have the Fool, which is about taking a leap of faith. Oh my gosh, we have 3 major arcana in a row. The Fool is taking a leap of faith. Jumping off that cliff, like new beginnings. Starting off, like, so I feel like it may start slow, it may need to start slow, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to pick up. And in the Taurus reading, I remember saying, like, in how the person who's offering this love to the other person shows up and supports that person through their needing to take it slow is what's going to determine how quickly that other person becomes ready and takes that leap of faith. So we have the Star, which is Aquarius energy, so could be an Aquarius in here somewhere. And then we also have the Strength, which is Leo. But Aquarius energy is hope, it's renewal, it's wishing upon a star. It's also being the star, allowing yourself to be the star, which, what are stars? They're adored. They are, people look up to them, people idolize them, and not in an unhealthy way, but it's almost like allowing yourself to be the star in your life, like allow this person to treat you that way. Like, again, it's going to be an equal and balanced relationship, but it's just the allowing of that energy. Strength is Leo, but it's developing inner strength. Inner strength is gentle. she's not able to tame this beast by being forceful. And that's what this other person, I think, is learning in how they're treating, like the person who's coming in to offer this to this other person is learning how to be with the other person in a softer, more gentler way. Maybe they're not used to that. Maybe they're used to being forceful, or in the past, they've experienced something similar. So it's almost like they're both healing something with each other within this relationship, like learning how to be different. Like this one person who is in the feminine receptive energy is learning how to trust and to open up and to believe what this other person is offering by the way that they're showing it to them. And then the other person, the masculine energy who's offering, is learning how to be a little bit more gentle and understanding and come from a place of love and treating this person in a way that they need to be treated, which is honoring them for who they are and seeing them for all the wonderful qualities that they have and treating them like that, like a star, basically, like something precious and rare, and like that kind of energy, which could be growth for that person, the person who's needing to treat the feminine energy that way. It could be growth for that person because maybe they didn't treat people like that in the past, or people in relationships. Seven of Wands. So Seven of Wands is about standing your ground. It can also be about being defensive. So why is this coming up? I get this might be stuff. Well, let me see. Hold on. King of Cups. Okay. And the Two of Wands. Yeah, the masculine energy, because of the King of Cups, who's offering this love, is going to have to stand his ground when it comes to what this feminine energy may push back on it a little bit. It's gonna soften him. He's learning how to be softer, how to be more in his emotions, how to also be there for her when she's in her emotions, when she's being triggered. Like, he's going to be learning how to be there for another person when they are experiencing something difficult, whereas in the past he may have left or shut down or whatever it is. The Two of Wands represents weighing your options and making a decision. Which direction do you want to go? So then it's like a decision for him. So she has to make it right. Because the feminine, I felt like, was coming more from her head with the Two of Swords, about needing to allow something to come in terms of a belief about love and needing to make a decision there. Now it's him. Now the masculine is more so like when he's fired up, because Wands represent fire, which is passion. When he gets fired up, when he feels like he's being backed into a corner, or she's getting defensive with him, he has to make a decision. Like, what am I going to choose? Am I going to choose to walk away, or am I going to choose to stick with it here and be with this person because I know that I want to be with them, right? Whereas before I feel like, oh, this feels too hard, or because this person is getting defensive, that means we're not supposed to be together. Like, we're letting go of all of that and rather like dropping into your emotions and feeling into, okay, no, this is just happening because of what she's experienced in the past. This is just happening because she's triggered, right? And seeing it for what is actually happening rather than making up some story and getting all heated and like, oh, fuck this, you're crazy, you're like, maybe he did that in the past. But we have the Six of Wands. So it looks like he's going to choose to be victorious over it. He's going to choose victory. Like, no, I'm not giving up. I'm not letting this go. I'm not letting you, like, right? It's almost like him standing up to her and being like, we can get through this. What the fuck? And we have the World card, which is completion. And I think I even said that in the Taurus reading, which was like, I think it was the Taurus reading. The full complete healing is going to happen, like getting to the completion of wherever these two people are working towards in terms of their own healing and relationships is going to happen within them connecting and the relationship that they are developing. So he can't walk away, because if he were to walk away, the healing wouldn't take place. The full healing wouldn't take place, and they wouldn't be able to move past it. And I think it's maybe both of them seeing that for what it is. Okay, so this time around, we have to stick it out and stay and be uncomfortable for a minute and work through the triggers that we're getting through if we want to get to the other side. The Five of Cups, yeah. So looking at the past and things that didn't work out, crying over spilled milk. It's like not allowing yourself to stay in that energy. That's what you guys are helping each other heal. Justice, Libra, and the Moon, Cancer, but in the tarot it's Pisces. But so balance, balancing the scales of justice. It's fairness. It's basically balancing the karmic scales too. So whatever healing that's happening between these two people is helping them heal. They're both needing to heal something. And again, I don't know if this is meant to be like a long-term relationship or not. It could just mean someone coming into your life that either is from the past or you have a strong connection to, that they're very important in your life, and they're important at this time in your life more so to help, both of you guys are, to help each other get to the completion, the ending of this healing process that you have in your life, have been going through in your life. When it comes to relationships, and it's whether it's you guys are meant to do that for each other to then get you guys ready for your actual partner, or if this is your actual partner, it's not really clear. So the Moon, it's about cycles and phases, intuition, shadow, or shadow energy, and the Knight of Cups. The Moon is like, so I was trying to get still and clear and see what it was bringing up. And it's basically just, it is also stuff that's hidden. Like it's still hidden. Like there's stuff that's still hidden or will still be hidden. The Nine of Cups is about offering your cup of love to somebody. So I feel like that's what I was picking up on, is like it's unclear whether this person is like the person for you for the rest of your life, or if it's just you guys are just meant to help each other heal. And it may be unclear and uncertain, but that also may be both of your lessons in order to help you move through the healing process, is to not have to know if it's forever, to not have to be like attached to a result. So we have the Hanged Man, the Hierophant, and the Eight of Cups. Hanged Man is needing to see something from a different perspective, which I think what I was just picking up on is seeing how if you come at the relationship in a new way, in terms of like, because I think in our culture, and I think this is what the Hierophant is picking, the Hierophant, I don't know, is picking up on, Hierophant, I think it is, which is Taurus energy. So that's why I think there could be Taurus in someone's chart here. Is that in relationships, we immediately go to this like codependent attachment, like being attached to somebody else forever. Like if we're together, if we have a great love, it means we have to be together forever. And that can really box people in and create more issues than it helps, right? Instead of just going with the flow and how you feel and going through the cycles and the phases and not worrying about where is this going? Is this leading to commitment? Are we going to get married? You know, I mean, if that stuff naturally comes up and you guys both are on the same page about it, like, and it happens, then yeah, I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's almost like recreating, living the experience of a different type of relationship that is more free and open and not so like boxed in, like it has to be this way and we have to get married and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Because the last card is the Eight of Cups, and that's walking away from something. And I feel like that's what it is. You guys are, it's about what you're learning through this relationship. You're walking away from like the traditional type of relationship that we see in our society. Oh, got it. Which is unknown. See, like the unknown card is about searching for answers, asking for things, but not getting it. And it's almost like this blind faith, blind trust in, can you just be okay with what's happening in the present moment with this person? Can you just be okay with it, taking it day to day and not worrying so much about the future? Because that's what honestly sometimes causes issues in relationships, is the worrying, what could happen. We create all these stories in our head that cause fights and all of that stuff. We have the Queen of Swords, so we have counterparts that came out this time, swords. So it's two people being emotionally detached from the situation and learning how to be like that in the relationship rather than, so it's like they both have their independence, they both have their freedom, they both can be who they are. Like that's what I see as being detached, is you're not like emotionally attached to that person. Like however they show up, it may affect you, yes, but you're not going to allow it to bring you down, or you're not, if they were to leave, or if they were to say something, if they were to do something, you're going to be okay without them. Like that's the kind of energy, like, so it's like, and through these two people coming together and creating this new type of relationship, which I don't think is very common. Maybe some people do have it and that's great, but I think it is honestly, a lot of people don't have the freedom to be themselves, to say what they want to say, to not be afraid of how the other person's going to react and how it's going to cause a rift in the relationship and all of that. We have the Three of Cups, which is about celebration, coming together, enjoying friends and family. And I feel like that's more so that the celebration aspect of the relationship is more is important. I mean, it could even mean like having an open relationship with somebody. Like, to be completely honest, it doesn't have to be like, that's not going to be for everybody, but maybe that is what it is. Because there's three people, right? But it's more about just like the celebration and the sharing of love, with the love that you guys create together, sharing it with everyone else in your life and the world. And if you're both, like I said, having an open relationship, it's quite possible. Let's get a couple more and then we're going to be done. The Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is about feeling guarded or holding on to something too tightly. So why is this coming out? Ooh, 4 of Wands. So we have 2 4s in a row. Stability. It's about home. It could also be about marriage. Which is funny that I was just saying that. Then we have the Five of Swords and the Devil. So Five of Swords is mental conflict and chaos. Devil is addictions, vices, things you feel bound to. It's also Capricorn energy. I mean, I was just talking about what they're healing. They're coming together to heal, which I think just pinpointing that is, it's basically picking up on the stuff I was just talking about. Like, this is what they're healing together through the relationship, is not being so attached to somebody, right? The Four of Pentacles, holding on to something too tightly or being guarded. Like, so not allowing that to come in. The idea that you have to get married, or that you have to be in a type of relationship that looks a certain way. The mental conflict, like, and you see like her getting stabbed in the back, she has swords in her back, like the fighting, the bickering, the somebody fucking with your head, like all of that, like letting go of all of that, the devil energy, which is like addictions. And because I feel like that's what the traditional way of of relationship ends up being like that. Like, because we're so boxed in, because we don't feel free to be ourselves, because we don't feel free at all to say and to think and to do and to be however we want to be, that's what it causes. And we're learning, and these people, this couple, these two people are coming together to heal that, like, for themselves, but it's also for a larger humanity. Is like, they're going to be an example of how to do that in their lives and for the world. So, I mean, maybe not the whole entire world, but like just people also in their immediate world, and whoever they come in contact with. The Emperor, excuse me, it is Aries energy, but it's the father archetype. And Venus was, like I said, the Empress came out, and that was in the beginning, or the Venus is the equivalent to the Empress, because that's what they're going to rule an empire together. It feels very twin flamey. So if you resonate with twin flame energy, Three of Wands. Three of Wands is about setting your intentions. It's about adventure, going on adventures together. But it's waiting for your ships to come in. What's that? I want to get one more to see. Death, transformation. It's Scorpio energy, but it's I mean, it could also be somebody waiting for somebody else to go through this type of transformation, or it's like this is the transformation that they're going through together. Yeah, I do think I'm confusing. It's like it needs to end, but let's see. Judgment. Yeah, resurrection. So it could be like a redemption. Resurrection is about second chances sometimes with somebody from your past. Could be an Aries, or just like somebody who embodies all four king energies. I think it was in the Gemini reading I did that was talking about embodying the Emperor for your love match. And so that would make sense since we had the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords that come out. Oops. The Ten of Wands just fell out. Needing to put burdens down, feeling overwhelmed, weighed down. Seven of Swords is about deception. Jeez. Okay, I said I was going to stop. It's like, no, you're going to keep going. But I have pulled out almost the entire deck. The Nine of Pentacles. Well, with the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles, I get somebody is feeling overwhelmed and lying to themselves about, I just want to be single for the rest of my life. That's basically it. Somebody does not want to be, or maybe if you've known each other in the past, they told this to you, I just want to be single. I just want to be single for the rest of my life. I don't ever want to get married. I don't ever want to have kids. And that's not true. They're just lying to themselves to protect themselves. And it's becoming a burden to keep that up, to be single for the rest of their life. They're realizing they don't want that. The Page of Pentacles, yeah. And then it's like a new beginning, talk of something happening. Almost like I feel like they're going to leave little breadcrumbs of talking about it, or they have. The Queen of Cups. And so now we have two counterparts, because we have the King of Cups and now the Queen of Cups that came out. So it's love. It's someone who loves you, who maybe the whole, I want to be in an open relationship thing was like a front. And they're realizing, like it could be that too. Like, not saying that, but maybe like that's now coming up is this person, I just wanted to be in an open relationship. I just want to be able to be with whoever I want. That was more of a protection. I mean, yes, it is. I think it is, like, it can also be what I said before, which was that type of relationship changing humanity and whatnot. But then I also think there was a denial of feelings. Page of Cups, which is an offer of love. Could be someone you're friends with. Again, this could be picking up on multiple situations too, like with multiple different people. Somebody that you're friends with, because Page of Cups can be about friendship. Also an offer of love or communicating about love. And the Page of Wands. So we had 3 knights, and then we have 3 pages that came out. So that happened in that one reading too. Which one was it? Was it the Aquarius reading? I think it was. Someone maybe has an Aquarius here. Okay, these are going to be it. But the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands, like the Page of Wands is a fire. It's about passion, fire, the Magician, and the Four of Cups. Overcoming, creating what it is you do want instead of focusing on what you don't want. This card is a lot about feeling discontent. So someone is working on creating what they do want instead of focusing on what they don't want, which is maybe what happened in the past. I don't know. I feel like I picked up on multiple different, actually, groups of people. Take whatever resonates for you. Okay, I'm going to pull just one more of my Black Moon Astrology cards just to wrap this up. Because it felt like at the last second, somebody knew, a new type of situation came in, yeah, so it made it like, again, like I think it was the Aquarius reading, but somebody has multiple offers. So it may be multiple different people or like, like situations that, or whatever. Lunar eclipse change and the South Node, life's debts. What's funny, it's 42 and a 43 that came out. So yeah, there's some kind of wrapping up of the past, like life's debt. So I feel like, yeah, the last kind of situation I was picking up on may be about wrapping something up before, like, well, I feel like it's simultaneous. I don't know, like something needs to be wrapped up. The lunar eclipse happened, was it the last new moon was the lunar eclipse, or was that the solar eclipse? I think that was the solar eclipse. I don't know if we're having another lunar eclipse, but just as represents change, a big shift in energy, and just like we're coming out of the eclipse season, so things are shifting and changing, and it has to, like, wrapping things up from the past. So whatever difficulty you've been experiencing is really just a wrap up. And I feel like, and again, I feel like there's a situation, there was like one person who may come in, you may need to clean something up from the past with this person before the other person comes in, or it's like at the same time and you're having to see which is which. Could be that too. I'm just gonna get one more. This is a long reading. 6 of Pentacles. Balance, reciprocity, equal give and take, whichever. The entire thing is basically creating balance in your life. In terms of, I was talking about Libra energy and the balancing of the scales. One person coming back in order to like make amends or kind of close out this South Node energy, which is like life's debts. It's like stuff that happened from the past. Somebody coming in, so that creates the balance that helps you shift into the new. So I'm gonna leave it there. If you'd like a reading with me, you can go to my website, empoweringauthenticity.com. Also, please like and share and subscribe here on YouTube. I really appreciate all of you. And if you'd like to donate to me for the free readings that I do here, I would so appreciate that. There's a link in the description box where you can send any amount that you feel. So I'm sending you guys so much love. All right, bye.